at this moment, I would like to introduce Nancy Nteere, the network manager from Able Child Africa, and Bahati, who is the chair of the network. Nancy and Bahati, please welcome, and you have 8 minutes.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and good afternoon and good morning, all the participants. It's quite a big number, and I'm really impressed by this. It shows that this is something that we are all interested in. So my name is Nancy Nteere, and I'm just to describe myself, I'm an African lady wearing a black top, yellow scarf, and with braided hair. I also have glasses. For me, I will start off, and then Bahati will join me later. So I'll keep my presentation quite short and to the point, and then Bahati will come in later and maybe emphasize on where I didn't explain as much. So I liked Fred's welcome note when he mentioned about the community conversations around fairer funding, because this is not something foreign. It's something we often do in our own communities. We have different ways we raise our own money, and we have this concept called passing the hat, where community members they contribute to each other. Maybe if there's an unexpected hardship, maybe a medical bill, funeral expenses, and a hat goes around or a bowl, and we all chip in. So this is money that is driven by immediate need and also trust, and it's also unrestricted. We also have other areas where people pull in money, very common among in Africa, where we call them the group savings and loan, we call them merry-go-rounds. But all the same, when all the money is collected, we have each member is given maybe a share, and they are required to use the money the way they feel like using, and that is still unrestricted. So coming back to my presentation, as I mentioned, I'm representing the Able Child Africa Network. This is a network that works around East and Southern Africa. We are in 7 countries, and currently we are 9 members in that network. The network is basically owned and run within Africa, and also advocates for the voices of children with disabilities. So for the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to talk about unrestricted funds and how we have used unrestricted funds to basically fuel the growth of the network. We launched officially in 2023. So in 2023 and 2024, we managed to give a very small amount of unrestricted funds to our members. And I will talk about 3 opportunities that arose from that. I will also talk about 3 challenges that we foresaw happening, and also I'll talk about the 3 benefits that were reported by the members. So the 3 opportunities that we saw our members explore further was increased organizational flexibility and solidarity. And this is because members reported that they were able to actually do team building exercises for their staff, which is something that most donors will not support. And even if they do, they will still have qualms around it. Other members also say that they use the same funds to pay allowances to their volunteers, because again, we work a lot with community volunteers who are unpaid most of the time. So at least we're able to motivate them. There are some members who say that due to the shrinking donor spaces, they were able to basically look at ways where they're able to fill in the gaps that came up. And this is as a result of the changing environments. And also some members say that they use this money to basically innovate and experiment new areas where they had not thought about, such as diversifying their workforce, having someone who is visually impaired in their workforce, and buying software for them to be able to use their laptops. So that was the first opportunity. The second opportunity was strengthening cooperations and sustainability within the organizations. And this some organizations reported that they were able basically to buy laptops. They were using quite old laptops, and they had not got a donor support who was able to pay for them a laptop or even softwares, because right now we are really evolving. New softwares are coming up. So again, they were able to do that. There are other partners who say that they were able to basically set up reserve funds, invest in areas where Also, they are able now to say we have a reserve fund, and in case of anything, we could always go there and get the money. So exploring areas around money markets, exploring areas where they're able to basically grow their income. Other members also said that they were able to retain skilled staff, especially when projects had come to an end and they really needed to retain this staff. They were able to basically set some money aside and retain these skilled staff so that they're not exiting the organization. So, and then the third opportunity was around driving innovation and growth, and basically expanding their programs. Some partners had stated that they were not able to match fund. There are some donors who come in and they say, you know, for us to give you this fund, you have to match fund. So this was an opportunity of using the unrestricted fund to match up their funds. And for others also, they had the chance of even basically piloting or collecting data from their stakeholders, which was not there to begin with. So you do all these projects, but you're not even able to create even an impact report, or you're not even able to do a needs assessment, maybe for upscaling your project. So they use these funds to look at how can they basically measure their impact. And finally, we had one of our partners who also said they use the funds to pay for subscriptions. Subscriptions in terms of, for example, funds for NGO, which ask for subscriptions, to enroll for AI platforms, which are able to basically scale up in terms of their programming. So those are the key three opportunities that resulted from that. Okay, so I think I will not delve deeper into the challenges. I'll just hand over to Bahati to wrap it up, and then maybe we'll take questions later on. Over to you, Bahati.
Thank you very much. So we think we don't have much time, but just building on the challenges. So there's an issue of trust. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Bahati. I'm the chair of Able Child Africa Network, based in Kigali, and I'm also the founder and executive director of Uwezo Youth Empowerment, where youth is a bit-led organization. I'm an African black man. I'm wearing a blue shirt with black and white strips, and I'm joining from my office, seated on my office chair in Kigali. So just jumping on the challenges. So there's a very huge issue with trust. My colleagues touched on that. So we have experience in my organization for the last 5 years, having a chance to engage in unrestricted partnerships. But it took us like 2 years or more to really understand what it means, because our experience is more on restricted projects where like everything is controlled, everything is fully managed to the extent where we cannot even uh, do move funds to attend some events or even procure some necessary devices. So they trust to really understand that whatever we're doing for our own and for the organization. And I think this can also give us a chance to engage in meaningful conversation, but this is only made possible when the funder uh, have seen the trust in you and also the work that we're doing. And the other thing goes with the confidence. How much are we confident to really kind of change the narrative? So today we are here, and I don't know who is attending and from where, but you realize that most of us are coming from OPDs, but who else needs to really understand what we're talking about? So we need to really move this conversation to a broader level. And I have a chance to attend several networking events here in Africa and also globally, but we are not so many from OPDs or from the disability fraternity that are attending these kind of events where there's a lot to do with shifting the power. Let's all understand that it's in our primary responsibility and it's in our interests to, by all means possible, in different settings, to talk about fairer funding, because globally there are different agendas that are interesting from different people. So unless we join our efforts, like having this kind of webinar, is the way we are going to bring this kind of conversation on the table where people are really discussing meaningful impact. Thank you so much.